All right, here we go with episode 11. It's called Duck in the Iron Mask. You'll never guess what happens. This is a completely original story. So the episode starts off with 5 minutes of jokes about which one's Huey, Dewey, or Louie, and whichever one this one is gets mad because he said no one could ever tell them apart. Here's the crowd chanting the wrong name. Here's him mad because they got the name wrong. And then whichever one this is, he's really drunk on base, and they're more concerned about getting the name right than they are that this duck is drunk and just wandering around. So the ball's hit, and the duck is so drunk he runs to home, but he runs the wrong way. First baseman's mad. Here's everybody. They're upset at the way the game's going, except for the pedophile in the hat that's sitting behind everybody. He's happy as can be. As long as kids are there, he wins. This one loves pedophiles, so he chuckles, and his laugh sounds like a fetus being beaten with broken glass. It's terrifying. Then they do this crazy angle because this drunk girl duck that's in the crowd, it's got wonky eyes. She loves one of them. She's got hair. Cut to Launchpad. He's looking at a map. He's mad because Scrooge won't give him vision plan, so he needs glasses. Instead, he carries around this magnifying glass. Scrooge says they're going to go to Mont Dumas, which is tip of the hat to the author of Count of Monte Cristo, which was, of course, as you can tell by this name, John Grisham. Then Scrooge starts talking about the Count of Dumas, and he flips. He won't use stairs conventionally, so he flips. Then his back breaks, his arm snaps because it can't support his weight. So then he falls over, and some creative artists took time to do a shadow in the background. Tells a story about how he used to hang out with this Count, and they'd make out with their face masks, and Scrooge would be so happy. That shows what the guy looked like. He's a little blonde-haired duck. They rub butts because that's how they say hi, and they're in love because their hearts are popping out of their chests like the Grinch. He rules over this castle. It's built over this tiny, tiny village. So then Scrooge grows gigantic and gets the plane ready. They take off. Boys are gonna hang out. Their old buddy Shadow Duck pops by, but he's shy, so he takes off. And then Huey, Dewey, Louie shows up, dressed as Elton John, and then they go. They catch a bunch of dolphins and eat them. And then a kindergartner does their best job to draw what a helicopter would look like. And then this sly bird decides that this worm that has a face, has eyes, and a little mouth, so you can actually see it before it gets eaten. The bird's sly because he's going to release on the world. Oh, his baby birds that have no eyes. So that bird never comes back. Launchpad and Scrooge decided to take a little cheeky moment to do an old gear stick bit, if you know where they're going with that. So then they pop into the 1800s. Here this lady dog is depressed. She's going to kill herself. This cow is even more depressed because he's not allowed to walk on two legs like Animal Farm. He's going to walk on four. Don't know if he could talk or not. They never establish what animal could do what, of course. So the ship's going to crash, and in the middle of the street is this cart full of chickens that Launchpad's really worried about. So they hit it. This chicken flies at you. He looks at you, and then the sheriff shows up. It's Pete, if you're familiar with Disney continuity. Launchpad decides to start eating paper because he goes crazy. Scrooge gets jealous, so he starts eating some paper. Can't get enough. Then Scrooge turns into a ghost and spies on these two guards. Meanwhile, this duck lord, he's hungry, so he's going to eat a key. Everyone eats weird things in the city. And then, Scrooge pops up! And it scares the Count as well. You could tell his little mustache went straight. And then Huey, Dewey, Louie raps, and the Count's he bites his rhymes. You could see him writing them down there. He's gonna crib them. And then the duck decides to start eating paper because everyone's been doing it. It's in vogue at this point. Scrooge gets a knife pointed at his throat, a sword. Gets all nervous. Dog picks him up like kids. Kids can't believe it. They're so shocked. Look at him. They're concerned for their uncle. They get thrown in a tower. There's Ducktales crotch shot. And Scrooge does one of the faces from the Beetlejuice movie when they pulls his face open. Does another crotch shot, and then this brick moves, and oh, it's the duck in the iron mask. He shows up, scares everybody, and then does this crazy first person perspective, like that old episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. It was all first person. So it's like you're the duck in the iron mask. So it makes you like takes that one step further. They rub butts because that's how they say hi. Scrooge tells him he stinks, which shocks him. Then it cuts to the little Duke Duck. He's enjoying nature. He loves bushes. Oh, streams go over gangbusters, but he hates trees. His brother floats away on a log to Paris, and then he walks in a sewer from Paris back to whatever this place is called again, Mount Dumas. And then he starts writing erotic fiction on a scroll. The boys are locked up. Huey, Dewey, Louie's like, hey, if we're going to die, we might as well take our clothes off and make out. So then they get this idea. They're going to jump up on the roof. So they do. Lockheed from Excalibur's there. Scares the hell out of Huey, Dewey, Louie. And then a ring wraith shows up with butt face. And they attack the boys. The boys beat them to death. And then they dress up like musketeers. Pete talks to you, points at you like you're in the episode, so it breaks that fourth wall again. Boys steal this hay cart, force this horse into slavery. Scrooge is stoked about the slavery. Duck in the Iron Mask tries to commit suicide. The horse has really been out of shape about being whipped, put in servitude. So Duck in the Iron Mask sees his brother is taking a nap, so he thinks it's a good idea. He hops in his lap, take a nap. Guy gets mad. He's the only one to sleep, so they all fight. So they're going to kill each other. They've got knives. Someone's going to get hurt, and eventually Launchpad does. He gets his eyeball poked out. Then Pete, he's loving destruction, so he goes on to destroy this chair, and then he takes it on a table. They hate furniture. Huey, Dewey, or Louie, they pick up this axe. They're going to cut someone's head off. They're going to cut the Duck in the Iron Mask's head off, but he gets the mask off, and they're excited. So then they give all the peasants money so they don't riot and kill everybody. And then, like most Ducktales, it ends with them riding away into the sunset. Overall, a very epic episode. Don't really know if John Ford is honored by their homage, or the Dumas estate is suing them for lifting their entire story, characters, everything, and just changing the names slightly.